Hello, my beautiful souls. Welcome back. We're going to do another reading. This is very simply going to be a single oracle card to begin with. There is only one card for each pile. There is a crystal. We're going to be reading on the message you need to hear right now. And this is very, very open to whatever wants to come through. You might have multiple messages. You might be drawn to multiple piles. That is entirely up to your intuition, how you might be feeling, whichever you were drawn to. I am going to be doing a rune-only reading as well. I might pull some oracle cards at the end, depending on how I feel the reading. If I need to interpret anything in a different way or bring through any different information. Again, leaving this very, very open. So for now, we've got three piles. We have pile number 1 with the Untitled crystal. This is very, very good for balancing out the heart chakra, balancing out our emotional energy, connecting with ourselves, with the truest self, with our ability to love and to love others in all ways, in all different kinds of relationships. We have the green aventurine here, and this very much will speak to me of forward movement, progression, energy, and what it is that we want to do. And third isn't actually a crystal. It is a pendant that I have made with the Gibu rune inlaid in bone. I don't know why I felt drawn to putting this one here today, but I very much did. And those are the three. Now, as ever, like I said previously, you might have multiple different messages. There might be a couple of messages within a pile that resonate with you and everything else might not. Take what feels right for you. Please leave the rest. And remember that you do have free will. You have power. You can shift your direction, pick a different path at any point in your life, in your journey. You are not bound by this reading or any other. So, with that being said, let's really take a cleansing breath. I've got some beautiful protection oil. I've just used to clear the space. I will see you at the timestamps below in your reading. Hello there, pile number 1. If you were drawn to this card and the Untitled crystal, this is your reading. You might have felt quite blocked from the positive experiences in your life right now. You might have felt resistant to joy, and not intentionally. You might have felt like nothing good was happening, or the things that you would have normally enjoyed haven't been fulfilling you as much. Could be many different things. This little crystal often helps us to open the pathways to experience things differently. I'm going to leave it there. I feel called to leave it there. We have the deer and oat healing. Now, deer is a very, very gentle energy. It is both swift, flighty, and I find this, especially when it comes to healing, relates to the nervous system. Now, that might not mean a lot to some of you, and that's fine. For me, how I would interpret this is if you've been struggling with anxiety, perhaps, or very deep emotions, like I said, feeling blocked. I got that from the crystal. Feeling blocked, feeling like things aren't moving the way you want to, feeling like certain parts of your day-to-day experience are holding you back, are making you feel stuck, you feel limited, or there is that constant sense of panic, anxiety. For some of you, this could be a feeling that life is racing past and you aren't doing the things that you want to do. This feels like a message based on that. So, I do have my beautiful bone runes here. These are actually deer bones, so it's interesting how that correlates with the card that was drawn for you. This can be a little bit noisy, just in case you're wearing headphones. Okay, now, with these runes, I won't remove any. I will just make sure I can see them all. Okay, we're good. The beautiful thing, it's taken a lot of strength for you to do what you have done to come this far. You could have been really working on yourself, pile number 1. You could have had to work very, very hard to even maintain the level that you are at and not collapse into some very, very difficult energy. There could have been difficulty with family here, difficulty with the people that you love, with close relationships, with something that didn't happen and didn't come to be, with Othala in the reverse. I didn't see the Hagel as I was feeling it, and I've just seen it next to the Othala in the reverse. This could be family strife. This could have been arguments with the people that you love. It could have been an argument over inheritance, quite literally, but with more nuance than that, just for the literal interpretation of the Athala rune. You could have found yourself in a disagreement with people that you cared about very deeply, people that you considered your kin, your family, your soul family, whether or not they are blood family, blood relatives. You might have found yourself struggling, and actually a situation has been very, very draining. But what you have done is managed to keep yourself at a level, and I think I get the impression that you might not realize that you have done this. You have kept your head above the water. You have kept going. You have kept moving forwards. And most importantly, you've kept a level of integrity here and connection to the things that matter most to you. With Tivas and Algis, you might, again, I am really getting, you don't see the growth. You don't see the progression. You have been guided by something, potentially an inner truth, an inner light with Kanas here. You have felt that call to move you, to keep going, to literally keep going. And there could have been multiple cycles of challenge or multiple situations that have been challenging. You have found your way through them. Even in your darkest moments, something has guided you. And whilst you might not feel this yourself, you might not equate it to that. I do feel like there is ancestral guidance here, whether there is somebody passed over that you looked up to quite deeply. And I actually feel like this is an older, for some of you, this is an older female member of your family line that actually took on almost like the patriarchal role. She was the matriarch of the family, like a true matriarch. Somebody that you were still looking up to. Maybe you aspire to be like that. Again, this doesn't have to be family. This just might be a kind of role that you have stepped into, that person that protects. I feel like you have protected people from something that could have harmed. Wow, okay, this is for some of you. You might have actually taken on a very protective role to protect that which might have harmed the people that you love. And that could have been a very draining situation. This could be, with the Tivas rune, fighting somebody's corner. It could be legal action. It could have been not allowing somebody to do something that they'd done for a very long time. It is, yeah, look, we have Fehu here as well. There could have been, I'm going to go back to that message. You are continuing that fight, but you've also achieved something with this. And I don't think you necessarily see, but you have protected something, whether that is yourself, whether that is your peace. We've got Wunya here, which I'm so happy to see. These three runes are beautiful. And I always take these as my, not necessarily beginning and endings, but these are my baselines that we work within. These energies are transitional. These are what has happened, what's going to happen, and what we're doing. You have definitely protected something successfully. We have Yera here. This moment right now in your life is to take a step back, to go, okay, what actually has happened here? You're in a moment of reflection, a moment of pause. There are beautiful energies that are now coming through for you. You are now taking action, taking a defensive step for yourself. This is, again, this is going to be different for all of you. There is strategy of defense. There is forward progression, a brand new cycle here with Dagas. Growth that you don't see. You are not seeing it. There is this potential for financial remuneration. But also, you have come to reevaluate what matters the most to you in this life. You have reattributed your value system. Fehu speaks of wealth, but what we value is entirely specific to us. So the question is here, what is it that you have come to value? And I really do think this is the reorganization of your value system. This healing means that you are seeing life differently now. You have carried on. You have fought the good fight, whatever that is for you. You have stood up for yourself. You have protected your peace. You have taken the steps that you've needed. You've protected those that you love. Protected yourself if this is a quarrel with those you love. You are trying to do the right things. And I feel like this is a moment where you need to pause and recognize. You need to pause, recognize, and celebrate yourself. And not in a, woo, go me kind of a way. It's not like that. But from where you started to where you are now, you haven't actually reflected on the difference, on the distance traveled. This is asking you to take a moment. If things still feel bleak, that it does feel like, okay, there might be more cycles of this. I think you know that. This isn't new information to you. But what we have, Ingvars, Uruz, Wunyo, Gibu, this is beautiful. This is you finding your strength and resilience have tended to these seeds. What you have given out might not have come back to you yet in kind with Gibu. Whether this is love, appreciation, whether it is wealth and finances, whether something felt like it was taken from you and not given back correctly or equally or fairly, there is justice here. The scales will be balanced. Things are going to turn. And I don't want to say in your favour. I don't want to, this is not a, it doesn't feel like a windfall kind of a situation. This feels like you have done a lot, you have given a lot. That might have been exhausting, and now things are going to be made more equal for you. They're going to be made more fair. Things are going to be properly appraised. Things are going to be properly viewed. And I feel like this is occurring over a period of months, and again, might be cyclical. There might be multiple processes that you go through here. This is all nurturing these seeds. With Yera, you're being asked to continually check in with yourself. Ask yourself, is this what I want? Is this what I want to do? Is this bringing me happiness? Is this bringing me joy? With Uruz, you have the strength, you have the resilience, you have the determination. You have kept going. You will keep going. You will keep healing. You will keep growing, even if you don't see and recognize it in yourself. This is almost asking you to pause for a moment. Take a step back. Realize what you've achieved. Realize what you've been able to do. Give yourself the moment of recognition that you might have craved from other people, and just pause, because this new cycle's coming. The dynamic, quick change, and these are so tiddly. The quick change in action is coming. The movement is coming. You are going to take bold action. If you've been looking for the path and wondering where it is, you're going to find it. This time has been about healing. It has been about resetting, rebalancing the scales. And that might have felt frustrating at times. You could have really been dealing with situations that took everything from you. I feel like you've overcome whatever that might have been literally, but energetically, you are still needing to rebalance where you have felt drained. Whether that's from these people, these chaotic relationships, situations, family members, people connected to your family, could be close friends. Take a moment, pause. Keep pivoting and being guided by the things that make you happy. Keep focused on the dreams that you have been nurturing. What are the things that you've been nurturing and tending to? This is a moment of reflection, a moment of pause. There isn't a lack of crazy movement because it's not happening or you've done the wrong things. This is quite literally saying the opposite. This is saying you just need to take a moment to realize how far you've traveled, to gather yourself, to perhaps really decide on a direction, or just allow yourself to feel into the stillness of your spirit and go, okay, what is it that I really want? What really does make me happy? What makes me feel like I can drop my guard a little bit and just relax? Where do I feel like that? Who am I around when I feel like that? Go into that space. Allow yourself to breathe. Allow yourself to just pause for a second. You feel like a very busy person. And then make your decisions. realize what you have actually achieved. Embrace it, because there is a change coming. And I feel like you're going to be very guided in that pause, in this stillness. Say, for example, one of you might have just lost your job. And that could have led to you like a trigger of panic. This could have been something that you really worked towards for a long time. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, completely out of the blue, you are no longer in that employment for whatever reason. And you might now be in a space of pause of thinking, what am I going to do? Why has this happened? What is going on? And life is kind of saying, actually, you know what? Just pause for a minute. Regroup. There is something better coming. The movement is coming. Just allow wherever this stillness exists in your life right now, use it. Use it as a pause to reflect, to readjust, to decide on your next move, because it's going to be powerful. And what you're moving into is going to bring you a lot of joy and potential for new growth, new beginnings. I think you're going to like it a lot. I love this energy pile number one. I'm going to get one. Oh, no, they want me to do these ones. One oracle card for you. Just the one, please. Centered. Oh, I love that. This is literally the energy that I was just talking about. Taking a moment, taking a pause, really and truly coming into your body at peace, in alignment with yourself, and ask yourself those deep questions about what it is that you crave, what it is that you want to do, where do you feel most centered, where does your heart pull you? Again, I know that feels like a luxury sometimes. Unakite is something that can help you to really reconnect with your own emotions. Choosing yourself, choosing your inner guidance doesn't have to be massive, dramatic action. It can be a very small step each day, a decision for yourself to choose yourself. Feel into that. It builds, it grows, it accumulates, it amplifies like a snowball effect, you know. Those decisions feed into more decisions, feed into your well-being, and the whole thing is just repeatedly amplified. So I'm going to leave this here for you, pile number one. I hope this reading assisted you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was something perhaps a little bit different using the runes. Please let me know in the comments if you'd like your own reading, tarot or runes. My information is in the description box below. I do offer private readings, but only on my website and Etsy. I will never comment or send you a message asking you for a reading. Please be mindful of that and people who are not so honest in their intentions. So I love you all. I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello there, pile number two. If you were drawn to this card and the green aventurine, this is your reading. I'm going to ask you a question. What is it in your life that you are ready to move past now? What are you ready to transform, to go beyond? I've just painted a painting for the full moon eclipse. If you're watching this at the time this is released, but obviously these readings are timeless, which is going over the threshold. It feels like you have reached perhaps the end of your window of tolerance with something, and now you're ready for a change. Whatever that may be in your life, you're ready for a change. And I feel like you're ready to take some action, to move you forwards in a new direction. It feels powerful. Your card, the skunk and the magnolia, protection. Interesting. I'm immediately getting from this, you have a very, very beautiful spirit. You have a gentleness in you, a kindness, a caring for others that is worthy of protecting. You might have found that your good nature has been taken advantage of in the past. Perhaps you've had experiences where people have failed to protect you and the beauty, the innocence of who you are. You could have been through a lot. You could have had some difficult experiences. And now I feel like there is something about you or connected to you that you truly value and you are going to protect it. This could be yourself. This could be something that you love. We will get more into it with the runes. But that is the immediate message I'm getting. I'm also getting, I've just seen 21. I don't know why. I don't always look at the numbers, but I did. It came through, so 21 it is. That might have relevance for some of you. This can be a little bit noisy if you are not used to me doing the runes, but let's go. Okay, now I am not going to move them too much. I'm just going to make sure they are all in the frame. Right, hopefully you can see those all. Yeah, you're definitely being inspired to take some kind of action. I feel like there is a situation where you have been chronically undervalued. You have felt stuck. You have felt restricted. For some of you, you could have quite literally felt like you have had this solid weight sat on your chest here with Ansu's Fehu and Redo in reverse. Alga's we're going to get to in reverse. You might have felt like there is nothing that you can do. This was like a mountain for you, an immovable situation, something that you have struggled with. You have not been able to find a way through it. You might not have taken action. And in fact, I feel like there wasn't a clear path forward. So maybe you haven't taken decisive action. The action that you've taken has been transformation, healing of the self. We have Lagus, Manas, Alga's in the reverse. Alga's in the reverse to me speaks of a drastic change, an ending potentially, a death rebirth kind of a situation. Doesn't mean a literal death. I do need to specify that. Death and rebirth cycles are much like the Ouroboros, like a snake shedding its skin. We give way to a state of being. We heal, we release, we surrender a way that we were in order for the new to be born. I feel like you have very much been going through these cycles. You are seeing the results. This is a time where you are going to see just what you have, I don't want to say achieved, that doesn't feel like the right word. You might find yourself now dealing with situations differently, whereas before they might have triggered you. They might have caused upset. Rather than now allowing them to drain your energy, you are focused on building yourself back up. You are so committed to your healing. You are very aware. Either you've left this situation, whatever it may be, because it could be job, it could be a relationship, it could be an energetic attachment to something, say, an organization or a group of people, a religious organization, something that then you go, do you know what? This is absolutely sucking the life force out of me and I don't want to do it anymore. I'm no longer aligned with these values. I'm no longer in resonance with these people. I no longer feel valued here. I feel like these people have overlooked my worth, and the difference is now you see your worth. Now you see it. And that means you are no longer going to tolerate the things that have hurt you in the past. For some of you, this could very literally either be healing from the end of a relationship, that final moment where the threads start to come back together, like everything was unraveled, everything was unpicked. You've had to sit there, feel it, go through it, acknowledge it, analyze it perhaps, go to therapy perhaps, and go, oh my gosh, what have I got to process here? Why did this happen? Why did this happen to me? And then those threads start coming back together, the threads of you, the threads of the self that is the truest version of you. You are healing, and you're no longer tolerating the things that you did before. These runes in the reverse are just telling me what has been. The Savilo here and the Yeda here are telling me that from now on, you are going to know where the inspiration is. You're going to feel the people, the relationships, the connections that feel like sunlight on your skin. You are going to feel the ones that are right for you, the situations that are right for you. This energy of reciprocation is at the very center of this. Everything radiates from here. You are going to be like an energetic weather vane, like a barometer. Sorry, I'm getting all cryptic with the weather analogies, metaphors, you are going to sense when something is off. You are going to sense when somebody's asking you to give too much. You are going to sense when you are perhaps at threat, or something that you value, you care about, is at threat. When your happiness is at threat and you're not going to tolerate it anymore. There is a line that you are drawing, either now in terms of your healing, or you've already drawn and you are moving beyond it. For some of you, this could be symbolizing the end of a relationship. And I want to say very clearly, you are aware of this. If this has happened, if this is happening, it's happening now. This is not some sort of surprise or shock. Unless it is for some of you, and I can't rule that out. It will be different for all. But wherever you are at in this journey, this is a time for focusing on your healing. And literal healing with lagus and manas, finding the path ahead. I feel like this is resolving what has made you feel stuck, unappreciated, unheard, undervalued. It could be work. It could be the end of a working relationship, the end of something that has served its purpose. I think you've realized the purpose it served in your life because you have grown and moved on from it, or are beginning to move on from it, or you will move on from it. But you are going to see and feel and assess from this point forwards what it is that makes you feel unhappy. There is going to be something that happens or has happened that really makes you realize you are a good person, that you have value, that you have worth, that you don't deserve to be treated poorly, or you deserve to have your needs met in the way that you desire. You are going to be fulfilling your own self first, filling your own cup first here with Perthro. No more giving to people, pouring into people that do not wish to reciprocate. I don't feel like this is you hardening, closing yourself off. This isn't a fundamental shift in who you are. This is discernment. This is you realizing I can be this beautiful, gentle soul. I got that immediately from the card, intuitively, before it even begun. This is you learning to discern who deserves access to that version of you. Who, and I appreciate sometimes we do give, but it's when you give freely to those that need it and not those that demand it or feel entitled to it without ever taking care of you. That's the bit that's going to change. I feel like you would do anything for anyone, pile number 2. I feel like you would give of yourself to protect somebody else. But this is a time where you've had to learn to protect yourself, and more importantly, not to close yourself off from others as a means of protection, but to protect the version of you that is so loving and trusting and giving and loyal. That version of you is safe enough to be expressed. There's a big difference. And this is really beautiful, because that version of you, when you are safe to express it and you are around connections that feel safe, or you have the ability to discern when it's safe to be that version of you. And I'm also not suggesting that you ever become intentionally a different version. It's just that we have boundaries with those that don't appreciate or don't respect that version of us. That's the drawn line in the sand, as it were. You're going to see things shift from this point forwards in a positive way, in a beautiful way. The things that made you unhappy, that might still be making you unhappy. You could be in the thick of it right now and going, why are you talking about this so positively? I do not feel like I'm here. This energy is open to change. It is not defined. It is not stuck. If you are feeling like you are in the thick of it right now, okay, there is a healing process here. This is do what you need to feel safe enough to heal, whatever that may be, whatever healing modality that you might feel that you need or would benefit from, maybe something completely new. Just trust that the energy is going to shift when you do. And I feel like that's the most important message I can bring through for you right now. trust. You were going to see it clearly. You were going to feel it. You were going to learn and understand how to discern your past relationships from your future relationships, meaning that you can be the most loving, gentle, expressive, giving version of you, but you were going to know when how to protect that version, when boundaries need to be put in place, when you need to call that energy back or pull yourself back from relationships that might be harmful or toxic. This is a learning process, but a really powerful one. You are going to enjoy it. There is like sunshine at the end of those rain clouds. And yes, you might not see it right now. Do what you need. Ask for help. Ask for connection. Ask your friends. Ask for professionals. Whatever it is that you need. Just trust that this is a process that is going to be very, very beautiful in the long run. Okay. I feel like I'm being drawn to these for you. I want one oracle card, please. Just as a final little one. Oh, okay, we've got a couple. Acknowledgement and explore. I think this is really important. I think in order for... You might be feeling frustrated and stuck in where things are right now. You might be desiring exploration, new possibilities. We didn't see necessarily new pathways coming up, new relationships. This might be the desire to do that. But first comes the acknowledgement of what has been, the acceptance in time, and all things are a process. Any grieving is a process, whether that's the end of a relationship, end of a job, something that didn't work out, an actual, somebody passing. Acknowledging how you truly feel is the first step, even if it isn't pretty, and then exploring new ways to approach it. This is really getting in connection with your feelings, but please trust that this process is helping you move forwards. This isn't to keep you stuck. You aren't supposed to stay stuck, and it wasn't for no reason whatever happened. You are in a very big transformational process for you, and from it, there's a lot of lessons, but you were going to be in a completely different place at the end of it. Pile number 2, I hope this reading supported you. I do offer personal readings, rune or tarot. They're available at the links below. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. I would love to hear from you, but just sending you all my love. I hope you're well. Do take care, and I will see you again in another reading. Hello there, pile number 3. Interesting energy shift coming into this one. I'm not sure what you're up to. I'm not sure what you're changing. I know that I was drawn to Ghibli for you, which to me tells me this is something positive. This is something that you're going to love. The theme of these readings have been quite transformational and interesting, different, possibly connected, so you might feel drawn to both of those previous piles. You, however, perhaps you have a different perspective. Perhaps you've arrived at a different place in your process and you are just ready to go with something. Also getting this feeling like you feel like you're out of time. What do you feel like you're out of time with? Is this a literal time? Do you feel like you're too old? Do you feel like a moment or an opportunity has passed you by and it's never going to come back? These questions, they feel relevant. I'm not sure what it is that you are dreading, but I really feel, and if you are, this is a conscious reminder, the energy that you put out will be the energy that you experience back in return. Some of you might not like that reminder, but it's just a little caveat for some of you. The Moth and Eucalyptus and ending. I bloody love this card. It is phenomenal. Energy of transformation once again. But this time, this is going to be something that you truly, truly love. This might have been a difficult ending. This might have been a difficult chapter. You might be reaching the end of it, weary, worn, and thinking, what the actual has just happened? How did we end up here? This rebirth is going to be so beautiful. Some of you might call it a glow up, a comeback, whatever it is. The rebirth is going to make sense. The ending was necessary. It could have been painful, it could have been visceral, it could have rocked you to everything. It is going to be something that you won't forget, but you won't want to either. And that's a subtle difference. I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued. This is a rune-only reading. I'm going to cast the runes. This can be a little bit noisy, so just bear with me. I'm also getting physical movement is so important. Like, some of you really need to move to shake out some old energy, and do that in a way that is joyous. Dance, reconnect with a passion that moves your body. I feel like that's going to be really healing for you. Interesting. Right, I'm not going to remove any of the runes. I'm just going to adjust them in their present positions, so that they're all in the frame. Okay. Let me just make sure they are all not quite. Well, you definitely have a rebirth. There have been situations that have made you doubt everything. Your value, your worth, who you are. For some of you, you could have found yourself in a position where your whole identity is shifted. This might not have been fair. You could have been called to or asked to let something go. Something big, something significant, something that you were truly passionate about. And this has been painful. You might have felt like you haven't had a moment to catch your breath since this process started. It's been one thing after another. This isn't actually one event. This is a series of events that have truly changed or shaped who you've become. And you're looking back at this now and going, actually, do you know what? I can see this. So this is kind of similar to pile number 2. But I feel like this is the readiness of what it is that you're going to do. You have been through this huge process, and actually, for some of you, there could be a sequence between pile 1, 2, and 3. If you feel like going back and watching them all, these aren't long readings particularly. You could have arrived at this point, and you could have been sat in this energy of rebirth for a while. These endings might be multiple. Number 13, obviously associated with death. I love the number 13. It's actually one of my lucky numbers. And I think there is an edge of chaos here that you have learned to embrace in a great many ways, understanding that these chapters in your life that can be the most challenging actually lead to the greatest potential for growth and transformation. I don't say that flippantly. There is a potential for travel here and forward movement. I want to say this will be different for all of you. For some of you, I was Rayo Isa. If you have been feeling very, very, very stuck, this is you breaking free from that feeling of stuckness. You will no longer feel stuck. You are ready to move. You are ready to go. For some of you, if you have been in that space where you have literally been unable to do something, to make a change, to travel in some kind of way, this is a moment where you are actually going to travel. You are going to have the opportunity to go somewhere new. Or, no, I do feel like this is locational. Not for all of you, but for some of you. For those of you, okay, traveling back to somewhere that feels like home. That's what I'm getting here. That's a combination with Manas. Manas does not connect to home, but it connects to the self. And we have Ansus. This is somewhere that gives you life. An experience that gives you life and lifts your spirits, brings you back to you. There has been unbalance, injustice, unfairness. People may be treating you poorly. This ends. This ends now. Whatever these difficult cycles have been, where people have treated you badly, you will now see them for what they are. You've been seeing it for a long time. You see the situation for what it is, and you're ready for the new. These new seeds that you planted a very long time ago, are suddenly starting to grow. And you doubted it. You doubted yourself. You have doubted the possibility of change, and yet here you are at the precipice of something really beautiful happening. And it's interesting because you don't actually have Gibu in this reading, but I was drawn to it. You were ready for this change. You were ready for this becoming. And it is a literal becoming. Pile 3, that was interesting. This reading took a long pause. You wouldn't have felt it, but I think it needed it, and I think that was somewhat the point. I don't think you see what's coming next, which is an opportunity to pursue something that you've cared about, thought about, wanted for a long time. You've wanted a change. You've wanted this change to happen. You've wanted it to come to be, and it is coming now. And with an ending, this may well come as the end of a certain situation which opens the door for something new. It could mean that something has served its purpose in your life, and if so, I think you'll know what that is. I don't think this will be a surprise. But this new beginning, what's unfolding, I believe, is something that you've waited for a very long time. It is a gift. It does feel like a blessing. Something that is definitely going to... How do we see this? I think it transforms the way you've been living life. I actually think it begins a brand new cycle. It feels like an ending that is a new beginning, which is essentially the Daggaz rune. We have it with Ingvars and Kannars. You might not know exactly where you're going at this moment in time. You might not have all the answers. This could be the end of a way of living, rather than a situation, but a way of existing, understanding, relating to your circumstances, and a decision to go, I see this, I understand this, I know where I've been, I know what I've been through, I know what I've learned, and now I'm going to do something very, very different. I'm not going to live with those limitations. I'm not going to live under that ceiling of what is possible, of what I'm capable of what I deserve, of what I'm worthy of. That moment before where you doubted yourself, that ends. You are stepping into a new era. And this is going to be a really, really powerful moment. Interesting, because this doesn't feel like a single moment, but I really do feel like you are going to have a powerful moment. And it could come, as I said, that from Isa Nathis, that feeling of being stuck. Nathis, this is one of my most favourite runes, probably the most misunderstood. It is literally translated as need fire, and I like to think of it as a soul hunger in certain ways. That thing that you feel calling to you, clawing at you from the inside, the sensation of lack, of not having any kind of feelings like that relate to something perhaps that you do really want. When you feel the contrast of having it would be like than not having it, sometimes it is only through the experience of not having that we realize how much we truly want something. And I feel like you've come to a point in life where being stuck, being still, has served you. It's served you to a point. And now you're ready to move forwards. Now you're ready to move beyond it. This time, this moment of stillness has certainly taught you, given you the opportunity to see things as they are for you. And more importantly, feel what you would still like to experience. And you might experience that through the contrast, the realization of I don't have this. I've never felt this. No one has ever. I would like to find out, those sorts of questions. It's often the not haves that informs the what you want, if that makes any sense. Listen to your inner guide. Listen to your inner voice. What is it that it really, truly wants? The jealousy, the lack, just the feeling that it's never possible shows you something. It's useful information. And when we use that in the right way, it's a very, very powerful catalyst to get us to where we want to go. There is an awful lot possible here. It will be different for everybody. But what changes? There has been so much internal change already, long term. What changes now is what you're doing on the outside, how it looks in your life, how it plays out. And I think that needs to be celebrated. So I'm going to get one more oracle card for you. I'm actually going to go with these. And there we go. Plant the seed of a new template. Well, that about sums it up really, doesn't it? It's not just planting a new seed. It's planting the seed of a brand new way of being. That is literally what this card represents. It's not just one decision. It's not just one dream. It is a very conscious decision to begin living in a very different way that takes you in multiple different directions. The new template is the new way of being, the new way of living, the new way of expressing, the new way of relating to your world, to the people that you love, to the things that you want to do, to your life in general. So it's much bigger than it might seem at the beginning. And I'm also being told to tell you not to overthink it. You don't need to have it all figured out and have the entire plan, structure ready before you go. I felt immediately that that was going to be a huge block for some of you. But I need to have this all figured out in advance, otherwise it's not going to work out. And this is literally saying no. You plant the seed, keep connected to yourself, trust in yourself that you will make the right decisions on the path to move forwards as you go. If you feel like it goes wrong, you'll just course correct. You'll pivot. That's what you do. So this is a really interesting place for you to come to and to find yourself and how you're going to move on. So I'm going to wrap this up now. I wanted to thank you very much for being here. I hope that this assisted you. If you would like a personal reading, please feel free to check out my information in the drop box below. I do offer personal readings. They are only available on my website and Etsy stores. I don't offer those via message or anything like that, so please be mindful of anybody trying to contact you. And of course you can contact me and follow over on Instagram to see what I'm up to, what I'm working on and what I'm creating. So I love you all very, very much. Thank you for sharing your time with me, and I will see you again very, very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.